In the name of Allah, the most kind and the most merciful. Assalamu alaikum. I am eternal science teacher Phobia, and today I am here to teach you the next topic, that is about mental diseases. So what are the mental diseases? They are related to the mental issues, the brain issues. The psychosis and the neurosis are the important mental diseases, and the detailed description of these diseases is like they have the different types of the types and the kind of the diseases which have the different reasons. When we talk about the mental diseases, they are maybe be due to the stress, due to the environmental issues, due to the society issue, the depression, the panic attack, anxiety, and the many different kind of the traumas which are surrounding the man, and he is facing the different kind of the mental issues. If we talk about the psychosis and the neurosis, that are the important types of mental diseases or can be the issues. First of all, the psychosis. Psychosis is of two types, the delirium and the neurosis. Delirium and the neurosis are the common disease of the psychosis. Now, what is that psychosis? Psychosis is a kind of the mental issues in which the person faces the different kind of the diseases which are related to the brain. Like the brain of the person become weak and have some common issues which are maybe known as the delirium and the neurosis. Delirium. It is a state of the mental issue and the disease in which the person become like they are having the incoherent speech and the fears and the rapid movement of the eyes and lost in its imagination. This is a kind of acute disease, and this is caused by the addiction of the certain kind of diseases. And there are the different diseases and the different problems. There is anxiety the person is facing that would lead toward the imbalanced electrolyte in the body and oxygen deficiency. That imbalanced electrolyte and the oxygen deficiency are definitely causing the serious issues toward the brain. The person brain become weak and show the certain kind of the symptoms like he is not confident in his speech. He has some fits and not been acting like the normal peoples. He has a rapid movement of the eyes. And the double vision like the insomnia. Insomnia is a kind of state in which the person loses his sense of smell. Anxiety, the stupor and the short-sightedness and the fear from the people, the person are unable to see the things clearly. There is another disease which is also related to the psychosis, and this is kind of state of the disease in which a person is always in tension, he is always in worry and has a low spirit that he cannot do anything. This kind of disease create the person mind like he or she is unable to do something. The low spiritual guidance and the low motivation make him a weak person, and he is always in the tension about anything which is surrounding to her or to him. So mostly the person is depressed in the early morning because they have having the lot of problems and the lot of different tasks which he or he has to perform. Instead of facing that issues and to tackle that problems, the person becomes so low spirit that he has a tension that what to do and can he do that. This kind of disease and this kind of mental state is known as depression. Sometimes the people can hide their depression, they are laughing in front of the other people, but still they are depressed. The depression weaken them from the inner side, and they maybe commit the suicide. So the depressed at the early morning, the patient thinking and decision power is also so reduced because he do not trust on herself or his self. He is under the influence of inferiority complex and the self-blaming for every wrong things happening around his or her. The person has a problem of insomnia also, the loss of appetite, the headache and the back pain, that are the major symptoms related to the depression state. The common type of depressive disorders could be that the symptoms present for the longer than the 2 depressive disorders. The depression present for most days during the 2-year period. This is also a kind of depressive disorders in which there is a persistent depressive disorder which remain for the long duration. The bipolar depression, the depressive episode that often accompany the means of the bipolar disorders. The person is sometimes depressed, sometimes happy, and he is in between the low spirit and gaining the spirit. So these are the different kind of the diseases: the seasonal affective disorder, the atypical depression, and the postpartum depression, the premenstrual dysphoric disorders. These are kind of the diseases which are mainly faced by the female, and they are usually fighting toward the depression, but the man could also be. So the other kind of the mental disease is the neurosis. Neurosis, hysteria, and the phobia are the noteworthy states in which a person is fighting with that kind of diseases. Now, what is hysteria? Hysteria is a kind of mental illness in which the female are more prone to this disease because they are mentally weak and they cannot strike and they cannot fight to the mental diseases like hysteria. During the hysterical fits, a patient may experience the blindness, the deafness, the headache, the ringing in the ear, the stammering, paralysis, and the fits. These are some kind of the symptoms which a person faces who is having the mental issue like the hysteria. The patient may refuse to eat due to the loss of appetite, and the patient should be consoled for the longer period and encouraged to talk more about his problem so that its problem could be solved out and he could be get from that depressed state. Try to solve his or her problem, otherwise the same attack may occur and the person will lead towards the death because it is weakening the person mentally, and that is a serious kind of the issue which is mainly faced by the women. So the female hysteria was the most important kind of the an important issue which was regarding against the mental diseases. So there should be a proper cure and there should be the proper treatment for these kind of the states. Phobia. Now what is phobia? The phobia could be the fear for anything, for any place, for any persons, or like the bus, the heights, the water. There could be the different situation varying from person to person that people have the kind of phobia. The 4 major specific phobia categories are the natural environments. Some peoples are having the phobia and the fear for the natural environments, like the hydrophobia. They are having fear from the water, like the dendrophobia from the natural plants, like the astrophobia from the you can say that the lightning and the rain. And the animals kind of phobia is that they are kind of afraid of the different animals. The multilation and the medical treatments is that person should be given the vaccination and the proper treatment and the situations to handle that kind of phobia. Like some people are phobic and they are having fear against the heights, so they cannot travel on the aeroplanes, and there are the different kind of situations which a person faces mainly. So phobia is also kind of the nervous disorder and then kind of the mental disease. These all are actually the mental illness and related to the damage of the brain. So if a person is having these kind of the mental illness, that would lead toward the nervous disorders. Now, what are the nervous disorders and the nervous breakdown? The patient of the nervous breakdown is under the influence of depression, which does not persist longer, and this affect the life pattern of the patient because the nerves cannot bear that pressure much and they are burst up. That would definitely lead toward the damage of the brain, and if it persists for the long time period without treatment, this could cause the death of the person. The depression and the nervous breakdown occur when the person enter the new pattern of the life accidentally, like he became the lonely, and suddenly there he lost some people which are very close to his or her. After long illness, it make person irritated and having some depressive situation, the financial problems, the death in the family, the separation or the divorce. These are the different kind of the society and the environmental and the personal issue of the person which can cause the nervous disorders. Effects. According to the research, a chemical neurotransmitters which is released for the transmission of impulses may cause depression. Patient remain unhappy or the not interested in the surrounding environment, have negativity, like the negative thoughts for the person, for the like views, ideas about the peoples, the low decision power, and at the end he just try to suicide. So these neurotic disorders which are related to the neurosis, they cause the anxiety and they lead toward the nervous breakdown. These are the different kind of the diseases which are related to the mental illness and the mental diseases, so that it need to be proper treatment. The every person and the symptoms must be taken care, and the people must be given the special care and the assistance so that they can come out from their depression state, because the depression doesn't look like a disease, but it will lead towards the killing of society. The persons are taking their life just because of this depressive state. So be positive for the others and spread the positivity. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.